Hello, everyone, and welcome to my coloring corner. And today is Fun Stuff Friday, and we have more fun stuff. And these are the Star Joy 120 colored pencils. I finally got them in. They were on back order for a little while. And of course, also at some point, were not available. So I couldn't get them when everybody else did, but that's fine. I love the tin. Absolutely love the tin. Gorgeous graphics on it. Just wonderful, wonderful looking tin. A nice strong tin as well, which is great. Let's take a look in this tin. Ta-da! Aha, you can't see nothing. It has the color coding up here on the top of the tin, tells you all the different colors and all their names and numbers. And then in here we have these beautiful, beautiful pencils. And they're nice and round, not too many jump out. Perfection. Absolutely gorgeous pencils. And of course, we're going to do a swatch. They are named and numbered. Yay. And they are in numeric order. And they do seem to be in color family order, which to me is fantastic. They don't have too many that are higgly-piggly everywhere. So that is wonderful to me. We're going to do a swatch of these, and we will come back and talk about the swatch. Now, this is going to be a longer swatch. It is 120 pencils, and I have been having troubles with the software I use that speeds up my swatches, and for some reason it is making the YouTube permitted music stutter. So I have had to slow it down just a touch so that you don't get a stuttering music that goes with it. So I do apologize, but the swatch is going to be a little bit longer. So grab your coffee, relax, sit back. It's stormy here, so my internet may go in and out. My power may go on and off, but I will power through it and get this video out to you as quickly as I can, and as completely as I can. So I do apologize if the power goes out and you hear some strange beeping and my dog running around like a banshee with her butt on fire. For now, I'm going to send you off to the swatch, and you can watch that, and I will be right back. All right, guys, I'll be right back. wasn't so bad, was it? So we've got these beautiful, beautiful pencils, and one of the things that I heard and that keep on being put out there um, in the reviews as well as other different phenomenons, the Starjoy company purchased or became part of the Deli company. And the Deli colored pencils are a colored pencil set that I reviewed recently and recently purchased that are gorgeous. They are a fantastic colored pencil. They are well pigmented, they are smooth. They have a couple of little issues, but nothing that would stop me from wanting to color with them. Now, the rumor is that because Starjoy and Deli have become one company, this is a larger set of the Delis, and they do look fairly similar. However, the Delis don't have names on them. They are just the colored pencil number. I'm trying to find one that is up here in the front so that I can match it up a little bit. So I'm going to use this one here. It looks very similar to this one. Maybe not. But we're going to look at the pencils themselves. And I'm going to switch you over to the other camera so you can see it close up. And I'm going to turn that light on a little bit for you. Maybe. There we go. Okay, so this pencil here is the Deli, and it's darker than the paint on this one is darker than the paint on this one. The Deli seems to be a little bit thicker. The amount of paint at the end of the pencil is less than on the Starjoy. Now I have sharpened the Deli, and as you can see, it's almost the exact same length as the Starjoy. The wood looks to be the same, which is really good. They're about the same centering. Both of them do have the end cap. However, as you can see with the Starjoy, it looks like the end cap was dipped last because it's got that seam there. The Deli was dipped completely at the same time because there is no major seam there. Not a big deal either which way. And I think that's one of the only ones. Nope, there's another one there that the seam is a little bit higher on the end. So it may have not taken a full dip to start with. So they may have re-dipped it. Not a big deal either which way. Now, as for coloring and the coloration of them, let's see if they're even close. Like I said, I can't really tell with the Delis not having any names on them if they're the exact same name. They are not the same number in any of the colors. They start off with a completely different color and a different numbering. So once you get down to the yellows, it is a completely different number. The Deli is number 5 and the Starjoy is number 19. So this is the Deli, and it's just so smooth. And the pigmentation is just beautiful. I just love the feel of those Delis. And this is the Starjoy. And it is just as smooth. It has a great pigmentation. It's a little bit darker than the one I chose for the Deli, but it's pretty close. It's almost the same color. It's a little bit darker, but it's just so smooth. And so are the Delis. They feel very close to each other, but the Deli is a little bit softer. So as you can see with the Deli, it's used up quite a bit of that tip, where the Starjoy, it's not so bad. and I've swatched with that as well. So are they the same pencil from the same company is the question that everybody keeps on asking, and I don't think so. They do have a slight difference in feel and a slight difference in look. Both are an absolutely phenomenal pencil, and I really, really hope the Delis come back into production. They are currently unavailable. So when you click on the Deli link on my Deli video, it takes you to the 72 Starjoys, which are a different pencil. And they even look like a different pencil. The one other thing that I want to show you is that whether or not these are water soluble. So I've got my paint pen here, my water pen, and I've got a good amount of water, as you can see on my hand. And the Starjoy is not really moving anywhere. There's a little bit of movement, but not a whole lot. And as you can see on the paint pen there, it picked up some of that color. So we're going to wipe it off. I have a piece of paper towel around here somewhere. Maybe. What do I do with it? Oh, there it is. I'll wipe off my hand. I'm going to scrub that color off so that there's no more color. See, there's no color. Add a bit more water to it, make it nice and wet. And then we'll go, ooh, the Deli moves a lot. So as you can see, the Starjoy didn't move at all, but the Deli does move a lot. So there's another difference between the two. And both are recent purchases, like the Starjoys I just purchased and just got in this week. The Delis, I think I purchased them last month. So both are a very recent purchase for me. And like I said, the Delis move quite a bit. The Starjoy, not so much. And I've saturated that paper, like to a point where you can see the ink from the other side through the paper. So it is not moving at all compared to the Deli. So those are the differences between the two. One moves a lot with water and one does not. And they look different. They feel a little bit different, not a lot. They're both absolutely beautiful lay down. I would not use a water product with the Deli or a moist product with the Deli. The Starjoys, they seem to be able to handle it a little bit better, which is phenomenal. Of course, I didn't use like a red or something that's really, really heavy in pigment. I did use a yellow, which does have quite a bit of pigment in it. Don't get me wrong. A red might end up bleeding a little bit more than, say, a yellow. So let's do that test one more time on a red. So I'm going to choose the darkest red I can find here. So let's do this one here. What's this one? No, that's terracotta. That's more of an orange. So let's do vermilion. And then we'll grab a red from here. And we'll grab this one. This one, I think it's pretty close to the same color. A little bit off. This one's more brown. But about the same. They're both reds. So the yellow of the Deli moved a lot. This is a red, And it's one of the darker reds, so I know that it's got a lot more pigment in it. And then this is the red of the Starjoy. And like I said, this is a darker red, and I'm putting down a good layer on both of them. So I'm trying to make the layers about the same. And then we'll take our paint pen here. I'm going to wipe it off, make sure that there's none of that yellow on there. All right, so this one here is the Deli. This one here is the Starjoy. So I'm going to just mark them. So this is a D, and this is an S, so that we don't get them mixed up. So I'm just making sure that there's no color left in the paint brush. That's a stain, not a yellow. And then we've got the Deli. And as you can see, it is quite fluid. So we went down 3 times and we went across twice. And that pretty much turned into paint. So we're just going to clean off the brush. Now, trying to get all that color off the brush. Okay, so there's no color movement. See, there's no leaving of color there. I'm gonna put some water on there. So as you can see, it's wet. We're going to go down a couple of times. Okay, so the Starjoy is moving too, quite a bit, but not as much as the Deli did. It moves, but you can definitely tell where the pencil strokes were in comparison to the Deli. So both in their higher pigmented pencils, in the higher pigmented colors, the color is going to move. So just like every other non-professional grade pencils, these are still a good grade of pencil, but they are not a professional grade of pencil. I would not suggest that most of the pencils used for adult coloring would be something that you would want to use on a picture that you're going to hang on the wall for a long period of time. You know, if you're coloring in your coloring books or you're hanging your art on the wall, you know, that isn't in sunlight and whatnot, they are perfectly fine. They don't have a light fast rating at all, so I can't attest to that. They are obviously movable with water in their darker pigmentation. Their lighter pigmentation, as you can see up here, didn't move at all. So it all depends upon the color of the pigment and whether or not they're going to break down. So I would not use a heavy amount of liquid, whether it be your fixative or anything like that. I wouldn't use a heavy one, a heavy liquid one. Also, if you are going to use a fixative, make sure that you spray it further away so that you don't run your colors. Not a big deal either which way. So let's take a look at the color swatch. So our color swatch is 3 pages long, and we'll take a look at that. So this is not page 1. Where's page 1? There's page 1. So this is page 1, this one here. So it starts with gold. So this is page 1. And it starts with gold, silver, into our reds, into our oranges, And this one here, I was really quite impressed because it has both terracotta and terracotta light. Turn that off so that it's not glaring on you. And terracotta light in the reds and yellows, in between red, yellow, and orange. It goes into our yellows, into our greens. It has a really, really good selection of green, as well as the seafoam greens, the turquoises, mint greens, stuff like that. It has a wonderful selection of those as well. And then we go into our emeralds, into our teals and our blue greens, into our lighter blues, into the dark blues, cobalts, delft blue, and stuff like that, into our red violet colors, as well as our violet colors, into our purples. Now this one here, it says it's purple, and to me it's a very red violet, a deep red violet. It's not that blue violet color like Purple Lake. It's more of a red violet color than a purple to me. Same with Purple Deep. It also looks like a very dark red violet. And then into our lavenders, into our pinks. Another one that, I'm not happy with the name of is Peach Purple. It just doesn't look like a peachy color to me, but it does look like a purpley violet color. Into magenta. And then we have a couple more reds here, and I'm not sure why the reds are here, like cadmium red, crimson, and then into more of our bright pinks, and then into our flesh tones. Now these flesh tones, most times you will find them before the browns, so finding them here was not a shock whatsoever. I would personally prefer them to be in the front with the other reds and pink colors. However, because it is right after the pinks, it doesn't bother me as much. Then we go into our browns. Indian red, I probably would have preferred in the red, same with the Van Dyke brown, but they are definitely red brown colors, so they are perfectly fine where they are. Then we go into burnt umber, ivory black, and then it has some really good grays. It has a warm gray, light, some pain grays. Dave's gray, I'm not quite sure why it's called Dave's gray, but I'm quite sure there's a reason. And then into some green grays, some blue grays, and different cool and dark grays. A wonderful selection of colors. Absolutely fantastic selection of colors. They do lay down beautifully, as I showed you on that piece of paper. We are going to color with them. We're going to just finish up that little picture that we started in the fairy houses and fairy doors with the Sargent Art pencils. So we did the wall of this picture with the Sargent Art pencils. I'm going to turn that up so there's a light for you. So we finished up the fairies wall with those Sargent Arts. Now we're going to do the door and the fairy door, as well as the window and the brickwork, the step work with the Star Joys. Now I've got a couple of lighter browns here, and we're going to use yellow ochre light as well as light terracotta for the door. So I'm going to move things around here a little bit because I've cramped myself into a corner. I'm always in a corner. There we go, so that I can show you more of what I'm doing with the coloring. I'm going to close up these delis so that I don't mix them up. And thankfully, the power has stayed on so far. We haven't had any bleep bleep bleeps yet. Not this video. In some of the other videos, you're going to hear the bleep bleep bleep. Believe me, it has been going off and on all day. So as you can see, they sharpened quite nicely. They are quite nice, and the wood isn't really hard. So the sharpener isn't having any difficulty sharpening the wood at all, which is wonderful. Both of these pencils seem to be quite well centered. And other than a bit of wood shavings, they're not flaky, they're not dusty, anything like that. So we're going to take the darker one here, which is the terracotta light, and we're going to do our shadows and our wood grain. And we will go over the shadow areas, of course, with a little bit of a darker color, as well as some of the grains of wood. My dog's mad because she does not like it when the power goes out. And usually she gets to hide, but Bob's not home, so she can't hide in his office under his desk. So she's being a little bit mad at me because I won't let her go hide in the bedroom because she's all muddy from being outside. And she can't hide in the office because Dad's not home. And because she's all muddy, the kids don't want her hiding in their room either. And I don't blame them. She's got muddy paws. She's going to get up on the bed. But I've locked her in the house, so she is kind of mad at me for that too, because it's snowing and raining and sleeting and doing all sorts of nasty things out there, so I didn't want her outside. And she likes to run outside when she gets scared. So I'm just doing a very, very light coloring on this door. And I will go back over this with the light color here after I'm done with the shadows, as well as putting a little bit more of the definition in the wood of the door. I'm going to turn this down just a touch so you can actually see the actual colors I'm using and not just, glaring light. So I'm going to go into the browns. Now, another thing with this set that I didn't show you is the trays are really flimsy, if you can see that. So they're a little bit difficult. All they've got is these little tiny tabs here. They're a little bit difficult to get in and out, especially if you have fingernails. So I will pre-warn you. If you noticed when I was doing the swatch, there were some of them that I put little asterisks or little X's next to. The reason why I did that is because some of them, the paint where it tells you the name and number and whatnot is wearing off, or it hasn't stamped properly. And you may lose the name of that pencil. And of course, that is one of those things that it is my job to tell you about. But they are a beautiful soft pencil. they go down so nicely. And they do feel almost like the Deli, but they are a little bit different. You know, they've got the Deli has a little bit more um, creaminess to it, I guess is the word. These are really, really good though. They're very close, but not exact. Both are an absolutely wonderful pencil though. I'm just putting a little bit of definition into the door so that you can see that they're individual slats and that sort of thing, as well as put the shadows in for the door frame. All right, so we're going to take the light color again, and we're just going to shade over the entire thing again and give it a little bit more of a color. Make it a little bit more varnished look. And I'm just using a very edge of the pencil. Okay. Just to give it that oomph that it needed. All right. Now we're going to do the same thing down here. This one here, I'm going to put the details in first because it is a very, very small door. So those little details are not very, very big. So we don't want to have them cover up the entire coloring of the door. Then we're going to take our terracotta color here, and we're just going to give it a little bit of a tone and a little bit of the brown. And we're going to do the edge here. The outline, the door frame, whatever you want to call it, in this darker color. And this is very, very small, so I'm not able to see it as well as I'd like to, but I will do my best with it. All right, so we're going to take, let's see, what color is this? Oh, there's another dark burnt umber. So this one is burnt umber, and we're going to go around the frame of the window as well as the door frame. And trying to, it's such a small, thin area. I'm trying to stay in the lines and still show you what I'm doing. And because I'm on a bit of a curve in the book, it's a little bit more difficult. I think I chose the wrong picture to work with today. All right. So I'm just going around the door frame. Because this part of the door frame is going to be wood. And I'm going to do around the door. Where it comes down onto the steps. Because that too is wood. Then we're just going to take our darker color here. And this is burnt ochre. And we're just going to fill it in. Now these do go down quite quickly. And they are quite soft, but they still hold a really good point. And they do layer together quite nicely. I'm just putting a little bit more definition there. And of course I could go over that with a little bit of the green gray, give it a bit of aged look, but I think I'm just going to leave it be. And then we're going to take a gray, and we're going to take, which one? I want to take a darker gray and then a light gray. So I'm going to take the charcoal gray, I think. And there's the charcoal gray. So that we can put in the shadows of the stairs as well as the rest of the door frame here. So this area here we want to be shadowed because that's the top of the door, the corbel or whatever you want to call it. I'm not quite sure what it's called. And then around this area in that darker gray, and we're just going to put in a bit of shadow. And I am doing this very, very quick, so it is not perfect in any sense of the word. But most things I do are not perfect in any sense of the word. So, all right. There we go. We've got some gray in there. Then we're going to take this lighter gray and we're going to fill that in. And this is just a light warm gray, so it's got a bit of a brown tint to it. And we're just filling in that concrete plaster type of decoration there. Then we're going to do the same thing with the stairs. Just going to put in the shadowing. And then we'll put in the coloring for the stairs. And normally I don't mix products when the colors are available in a different product all at one product. But to show you that these two brands of pencils that I received this week do color quite nicely together. Um, because the smaller set, the Sargent Art set, is a smaller set. It is nice to know that there is a set out there that complements it. So that you can compensate with other colors that aren't available in the one set. Like the grays, for example. The Sargent Art doesn't have a lot of grays. But this set doesn't have a lot of really light grays. So it has a good selection of them though. And it's got a warm gray, so that's good. Okay. And there is our little fairy door in the wonderful brick wall. Now I'm going to turn this light down just a touch so that you can see it a little bit better. There we go. All right, so that is all done. I will do some blending on it as soon as I find the blender. There it is. So these are the colors that we have used in the Star Joys. And we're going to use the same blender pencil that we used on the Sargent Arts. I'm just going to give it a sharpen here because it was getting a bit dull. So I'm using the Lyra Rembrandt Splendor blending pencil. And these pencils seem to be blending quite nicely with it, the same as the other ones did, which is great. And I do believe most of Starjoy's pencils are oil-based. So I'm pretty sure when I bought them, they said they were an oil-based pencil. And of course, we will look further on the tin to see if it states any of that information on the tin. That is one thing that some companies are really lacking in, is information about their products on their products. So if you don't know, like if you get the product as a present or something, and you don't know what kind of pencils they are or whatnot, you can't really look on the tin and say, oh, they're this kind of pencil, or ooh, this, they've got this light fast rating, or ooh, these are water soluble or not water soluble, and so forth. And they don't have that information on the tin, or on the package, which is something I would rather they have. But the packaging for this pencil set so far seems to be very nice. Now I'm going to put all the pencils back, and once we have them all back in the box here, it should be fairly easy to put them all back in because they are numbered. So that's 112 I need. There's one. Okay, so this is another one that I probably marked. And as you can probably see, the 111 is starting to wear right off, and so is the burnt umber. And that there are a few of them that do have that issue where the name and number are starting to wear off on them, like this one here. The bottom part here is missing the words, the part of the word. Some of them it's not a big deal, but some of them, a lot of the word is missing. I'm not seeing any in this part. But I'll put these away first, and then we'll look at the page itself, and see which ones are starred. So not too many there. So in the green, we have turquoise that had a star. Might be in this. So let's see, where do we find turquoise? I think it's in here. Teal. No, maybe not. Yeah, it should be in here. Oh, well, it's in here somewhere. I know it is, but we'll look at a different color because I'm obviously blind and can't see that one. So let's look at okay. Okay, so primary blue. Let's see. Had some issues on the band, as well as the Y is missing its color. Not a big deal. Some of them are really, really minuscule. Let's see. Yeah, I think pretty much all of them are quite minuscule. I'm not seeing any major ones where the entire name is gone. And of course, this could also be a light issue. Okay, so this one here, the entire name is missing off of it. You know, the name is there, but the silver writing is gone. So that one I would have to actually refer to the chart and find out what the color is. So this one is number 31, which is light green. So it's ones like that that could pose quite a bit of problem. I will probably end up marking it so that I know what color it is. But, you know, there's not a whole bunch of them that are like that. You know, it's not a big deal as far as I'm concerned. But I'm going to put these back, and then we'll take a look at the entire box and see if there's any information on the bottom side of the box, or if the information is just not there and you have to look it up on the website. So I'm going to put all of the stuff back in it so that the pencils are cushioned. It does have a nice little foam padding that you can put in there to cushion the pencils. And on the back side here, it just says Starjoy. Oh, this is a sticker. Let's see what's under the sticker. So this is the sticker that they demand that you have when you ship anything to the US. It has to have a certain code. And I want to see if there's a different name on the code under the sticker that's printed on the tin. And of course, I'm going to end up breaking my nails off doing this. Ouch. But I'm not seeing any other name, and that's probably why they have the sticker there, because they've just got the barcode, not the name on the tin. Well, so much for sending them back now, huh? I wouldn't want to anyway. So yeah, they've just got the barcode, which is a little bit different than the barcode on the tin, on the sticker, but not a whole lot. So basically, this is the Chinese barcode, and the one that's on top is the US barcode. Oh, and I've got you looking at the wrong camera. I'm really sorry. So under here, there was a sticker that was over top of this that had the barcode and the company name and that sort of thing. And I wanted to see if there was a different company name underneath, since Starjoy is and Deli seem to be the same company, but it just has the Chinese barcode under it. So these are made in China. For after sales support, it tells you who to contact, what the trading company is that distributes these pencils. This is not the manufacturer, it is the distributor. So they are polychromos, so they are an oil-based pencil. Has great quality, a high level of soft lead, good wood casings, and the quality of the wood is really, really nice. It sharpens beautifully, which it does. Non-toxic pencils have named and number color-coded for instant recognition, which is true, although some of the stamps are wearing off already. High-quality standards. Used for fine graphics or artist freestyle. Extensive range of primaries and vibrant colors. It does not say whether or not they have a light fast rating, or if they have even been tested for light fast. They are an oil-based pencil, a polychromo type of pencil, so which is wonderful. Absolutely beautiful set of pencils. Personally, I won't say that they're Deli pencils. The Deli pencils are, in my opinion, a different type of pencil. The Starjoys don't bleed as much as the Deli pencils when you add water or liquid medium or media, sorry. Other than that, great set of pencils. Of course, I thank you all very much for joining me. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and of course, hit the like button because it does help boost me up a little bit. Leave me a comment. I want to hear anything that you have to say. I do try to answer as many of my comments, as many people that have left me comments as possible. And of course, if you're not already a subscriber to the channel, please hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. It will tell you whenever I put out a video. And some days it's 3 or 4 videos, some days it's 1 or 2, some days it's just 1. Um, of course, last but not least whatsoever, if of hold on a sec, my tongue is going to, untie itself now. Last but not least, of course, is to remember to relax, color, and stay safe. Thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. All right, bye-bye for now.